to tell the story of the 1992 Cup final. Liverpool's last chance of the season to win a major trophy against Sunderland, the second division team who'd surprised everyone by getting to Wembley, beating 3 first division sides on the way. Alan Hansen played in 3 finals for Liverpool, winning 2, but once beaten by another team of underdogs, Wimbledon. We'll have Alan's views on the game. Well, Liverpool had won the toss to play in their traditional colours. Sunderland in the unfamiliar blue and white. The match commentators Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Liverpool, no Ronnie Whelan and no John Barnes. At number 10, 20-year-old Steve McManaman, the youngest man in the match, returns after his injury in the semi-final 5 weeks ago. Dean Saunders plays at Wembley for the first time. Their top scorer, of course, and the 2 substitutes, Mark Walters and Mike Marsh. As for Sunderland, Gary Hours wears the number 2 shirt in place of the injured John Kay. A place at number 6 for David Rush, who won't be 21 until next week. The unlucky man in the squad, really, Paul Hardiman, having played in every cup tie. He's now a substitute. And Rush, Hardiman, Rogan, Ball and Hawke, I think, are all new to Wembley. So there's perhaps a little less experience on the big occasion, as they would be from a second division side for Sunderland. So Sunderland in white shirts will start this 111th FA Cup final. Number 6 there is David Rush for Sunderland on the right-hand side. Here's Nicol now. Thomas, here's Burrows, has played a few games in the centre defence in this second half of the season, so he's found right. And this is Rob Jones. Thomas. First touch here for Brian Atkinson, number 11 in the midfield for Sunderland. Now it's Rush. Number 8 is Davenport, but Rush was fouled. 5, Anton Rogan. And again. Burrows header out, that's John Byrne. It was deflected off his own player. It's a goal kick.
Yes, David Burrows. I think perhaps sometimes centre-back, when he's asked to do a marking job, might be his best position, because his distribution at times there, he just gets a half header that Byrne doesn't quite catch, and he hits that ball, goes off with a goal kick. But I think his distribution at times lets him down when he gets forward at left back.
Swung wide by Mulvey, beautifully to Ray Houghton, number 8. Michael Thomas, a forward on his face. Michael Thomas shoots, holds his head for skying it, but Tony Norman was very quick to his feet.
Typical Liverpool move with it. Ray Houghton comes inside on his right foot so well, just flicks it with the outside of his foot. Thomas making that deep run and tries to lift it over Norman because he's so close to him, spread himself well and lifted it over the crossbar. This is Burrows. Good tackle by Rogan. He started well. This is Byrne. Davenport in the centre. Rogan outside him. Still Johnny Byrne. Well, he got it on target, but there's Anton Rogan given a shout across because he was a spare man. A little reverse forward have left him clear, and I think it was a wasted opportunity.
Here's McManaman. Nicol up on the left for Liverpool. Takes on David Rush. Thomas. Nicol. Deep one. Oh, it took Armstrong to clear it. Corner for Liverpool. Saunders will take it. Mark Wright is trotting up. Here comes Wright. Come out to Thomas. In support here, Nicol. And now Mulvey. Nicol again. And Wright still in there. And so was Rush.
Tony Norman's had a couple of good early saves. He held on to that one well, but it's a very dry, open start to the game. We've had chances both ends. This one, Mark Wright staying in there, heads it back down, and look at Ian Rush make up the ground. Good half volley, but fortunately for Sunderland, straight at the line.
David Rush. Davenport, Gary Hours sprinting up on the right-hand side. They've got two in there. This is Hours. He found the position superbly.
Well, he's got great lungs. He gets up and down the pitch, whether midfield or fullback. Superb ball by Davenport. Now, he's got so much time. If he just looked up beyond it, look at the far post there, Armstrong. I mean, that was a nothing ball. It wasn't a cross or a shot. He could have just floated it to the far post. He could have had an opening goal.
Well, that was an interception by Gordon Armstrong from Rob Jones. Davenport's on the far side. This is Byrne. Davenport making a run now. Byrne plays it wide again. Armstrong wasn't quite ready for it. Byrne remonstrates with Armstrong for that. This is Rogan now. Davenport holds it up well usually. Rogan. Oh, a skidder. Bruce Grobbelaar from Anton Rogan. Grobbelaar may have collided with the post.
Yeah, he's just hit the back of his head there. Got a lovely left foot, Rogan. This one just bounces nastily, and you can see the thud there. That's a nasty whack.
Short to Byrne. Kevin Ball at the back there. Byrne! Oh, he was onside, and what a good chance for the man who scored in every round. Liverpool were sleeping a bit, weren't they?
Well, it was a half clearance. Everyone challenges, and a great header comes back across, and normally John Byrne would compose himself, even control it, and then pick his spot. He just snatches it. That's what Wembley does to him.
Burrows trying to get up to John Byrne, but then Nichols slips. No doubt that the surface of the pitch, as it was saturated this morning by that prolonged rain, is causing the players some discomfort here and there. This is Byrne. David Rush joining him. Still Byrne. Hours to take the throw. Armstrong popping towards him now. There's Armstrong. There's Davenport away by Wright. And then half away by Morby. Oh, it's gone wide off Mark Wright. The shot was by Bracewell, and the deflection could have gone anywhere. To Grobbelaar's relief, it flew off Wright's foot. I think it was Wright, and went past the post. Yes, look at that. Grobbelaar was going the other way. It's a corner. Ball is up again. Bracewell, of all people, he hasn't scored for 2 years, and he nearly put his side ahead. Oh, it's well played by Dean Saunders. Ian Rush couldn't flick it through to McManaman, who was going to his right. Also good play by Bracewell, and a lovely through ball. John Byrne slipped Mark Wright, but good cover by Burrows.
He was unlucky there, John, but he couldn't let it run because it would have skidded through to Grobbelaar. Just his first touch then allowed Burrows to get the tackle.
It's left Byrne hobbling and rubbing his thigh rather gingerly. This is Rogan. Davenport. He's turned right as Davenport. Oh, Atkinson! Liverpool are leading a charmed life in there, Trevor, aren't they?
Davenport did terrific. It was almost as if everyone stopped. They thought there'd been a whistle or something, and Davenport toe-ended it, and Atkinson couldn't quite get the shot.
And now it's McManaman. Houghton again. Jones moves up here. Mulby. Rush. Good turn. Couldn't get past Bennett.
He'd run there, Gary Bennett, didn't he? Because Ian Rush is so deadly in those tight situations that Bennett stuck very close to him, made sure he wasn't able to turn and get a half chance, and at the moment he's being well marked.
Burn to David Rush. Gary Hours starts to go down the right wing now. In the middle, Davenport going near... Oh. Well, he's found two good positions, Gary Hours, but he'll be unhappy with what he did when he got there. 10 minutes left in the first half of this FA Cup final. McManaman picks it up for Liverpool and finds Nicol. So predominantly right-footed on that left-hand side, but anyway, he's found McManaman again. Now we have got sunshine at Wembley after a most unpromising start to Cup final day, where it bucketed down in London all morning. Here's Houghton. McManaman, two waiting, and he didn't find either.
Well, it was a good little dinky ball by Ray Houghton, wasn't it, with his left foot. He doesn't often use that. McManaman with his left foot, but he whipped it across, and interestingly enough, both Saunders and Rush had pulled back out for the pullback, and I suppose it does bring back the question, because Rush has been injured so much this season, as to whether that pairing is the ideal one. I can remember early on when we were doing a game saying, do you think they can work together? I have my doubts, because they are both finishers. They tend to make the same runs, and neither of them actually has an individual ability to go past defenders, and that's been shown up in this opening, 30 minutes.
Well, Sunderland have sent Kevin Ball and Gary Bennett forward for this free kick from Anton Rogan. Up goes Armstrong. Bennett's in there with Wright. Jones the back header. Houghton needs to get this away for Liverpool, and he will. To Mulby, it's come off his heels. Bracewell. It's all a bit untidy at the moment, isn't it? But that through ball by Jones finds Saunders. Hours having to come across from right back to cover. Saunders shoots first time, and it was a good effort.
Great ball from Rob Jones, but that Saunders at his best, playing up there by himself almost, and being able to make those darting runs. That's one of the few occasions when he has been pushed right up, because often he's been working behind Rush.
Now here's Rush himself. Houghton. Nicol. McManaman. Thomas. Oh, well played by Jones. McManaman!
Terrific play by that young man again, Rob Jones. I'm looking forward to seeing how he copes with the European Championship, because he does look excited, doesn't he? Going forward, whipped in. I wonder whether Tony Norman felt it could have come for that, because it's a header on the 6-yard box, and McManaman couldn't quite keep it down.
Off the heels of Jones to Burn. And Rush is joining up here for Sunderland, and here's Davenport. Shot strikes David Burrows. Well, you think how Liverpool stretched and strained to beat the likes of Bristol Rovers and then Ipswich and then Portsmouth. 3 second division sides have taken them all the way in this FA Cup competition this season. And the signs in the first half are that Sunderland will make it possibly as difficult for them. A couple of minutes left in the half, 0-0 here at Wembley. Not able to take teams apart quite like the Liverpool of old. Is that fair, Mr. Brooking?
Well, definitely. I mean, they've had little spells, haven't they, this season, but not with the consistency that they used to for several seasons. And I think Sunderland will be more and more confident as the half has gone on, because they have matched them. I thought the first 10 minutes Liverpool started well, looked very confident, but gradually Sunderland came into the game. They've had the best chance through John Burns, undoubtedly, and they must feel that they're very much in with a chance of getting into Europe, of course, themselves.
Yes, the European Cup Winners' Cup, a prize for the winners today. And here's an opportunity for Liverpool to lay some claim just before half-time. A free kick, quickly taken. McManaman the outlet. And he's skipped down on the right-hand side. He's got inside. And it's still McManaman. Oh, brought down by Bracewell, was he? No. Liverpool can't believe it. They're going to Philip Don, and they must have felt on the bench that was a possible penalty offence. But as the controversy goes on, Sunderland break with Davenport. Byrne. Davenport. Through by Atkinson. What did you think about that?
Well, amazingly, McManaman's gone back over to the left, and if ever he's got this shimmy, look, he just goes outside, shapes the centre, comes inside, then he just gets clipped on his heel. There's no, you couldn't see it from that angle. He caught his standing foot. It was definitely a penalty. As he slid in, Bracewell just blocked it. He got his standing foot and flipped him down. Definitely a penalty.
Well, my co-commentator in no doubt about that, but the referee didn't give it. And here's Saunders in stoppage time at the end of the first half.
I think the problem is the linesman is this side as well, so he would have been blocked off from the view, a bit like we saw on the television there. The referee's over the other side of the penalty area, and they couldn't have seen just the clip on the back foot, but he was definitely a foul, and was a lucky let-off for Sunderland.
Meantime, Liverpool with McManaman back on the left, and the referee brings the first half to a close. I'm just going to watch referee Don walk off here in case any of the Liverpool party decide to remonstrate with him. But it was certainly one of the points of the first half which will cause discussion. Ray Houghton, I think, probably had a word as they went across. Well, he did have a word, there's no doubt about that. There's no score in this cup final. Sunderland certainly held their own, perhaps more than held their own. They had chances, didn't take them. Final ball wasn't right. But then Liverpool came towards the end, and we had that shout for a penalty. At half-time in the cup final, it's Liverpool 0, Sunderland 0, and Mr. Souness in deep conversation. It's Armstrong for Sunderland. Johnny Byrne just inside now. Mark Wright stretches. This is Byrne. And he's forced the corner in the opening seconds. And Brian Atkinson will go across to take it. And they were practicing these in training yesterday morning from that side with Anton Rogan, number 5, and Kevin Ball, number 3, joining the players in the penalty area. In fact, it's going to be probably Armstrong on the actual post. Ball up with Grobbelaar. Bracewell now. And that's David Rush. And here comes Grobbelaar to meet Davenport. And he rolls it out almost casually, but it's not casual because it puts Liverpool with Houghton into a more offensive position. Now it's Molby. Knocked out wide to McManaman, who is indeed starting on the right-hand side this time. Takes on Atkinson. Gets past him. And flips it in to Michael Thomas. Thomas is shot! Oh, that's a fine goal! Graham Souness looks on in admiration. And in the second minute of the second half, Liverpool have taken the lead in the cup final, and McManaman, who Trevor Brooking said would do more damage on the right than on the left, got the ball in, and Michael Thomas swung his right foot, and that goes down as one of the best cup final goals. Beautifully delivered, and what about this?
Great finish. We criticised Michael Thomas a bit, the fact he lifted the ball over Tony Norman and the goal early on, but that was still only a half chance. Good play by Steve McManaman. Again, his instinctive, being able to jig both ways on his natural foot, and it opened up the Sunderland defence with a wonderful finish. And Michael Thomas coming late, unmarked again, but a super strike into the far corner, and now Sunderland will have to push more men forward from midfield.
That's really opened it up, hasn't it? What a start to the second half. Liverpool made that switch, just before half-time, it was because McManaman came to the right we had all the furore about the possible penalty. And now Malcolm Crosby's defence caught out by him again. And you'll see from this side of the pitch how he first of all got past Brian Atkinson. Then his ability to come inside, the lovely little flip of the ball. There's Thomas, that's a volley, and you couldn't see it placed better, could you? Jones working it out right again to McManaman. Thomas, Volby to his left if he needs him. Molby still wants it here. Burrows, that's a measured ball. Dean Saunders. Ian Rush comes in, headed away by Anton Rogan, corner.
Another good run by Dean Saunders, and beautiful chip, got underneath it perfectly to the far post, and good defending to get it away, but they mustn't concede a second goal during these next few minutes.
Quickly taken corner on the far side. Rush away only as far as Molby. Molby shot, and chipped over by Tony Norman.
That was a magnificent save, a great shot. I mean, Molby just popped it up in a dipping volley, and he did very well. You can see it was going to just go under the crossbar, but he got his fingertips to it.
Oh, and a bad pass by Steve Nicol has been intercepted by Peter Davenport. And Sunderland have a break on here with John Byrne down the right-hand side. They need people in the middle quickly. It's still Byrne. Free kick, is it? Well, Mark Wright was the challenge, and Sunderland will get something for sure. The free kick to be taken by Atkinson. Armstrong's there. Gobelard clears, there is no doubt that there's going to be some sort of change by Sunderland. And McManaman, meantime, sets off for Liverpool. He's got Dean Saunders going outside him now. And he's still going outside, and there's Ian Rush going in. Hours. Right. So in the eyes a bit there. This is Molby for Liverpool. Up to Saunders. Coming in round the back was Kevin Ball, penalised. Houghton. This is Nicol. Saunders against the bar. So close to 2-0 for Dean Saunders, the top scorer.
He deserved the goal because he's played very well in the second half. He's helped sort of step up the Liverpool play going forward.
Nichols cross this time. Tony Norman can come for this. And that might have been curtains for Sunderland if that had been a foot lower. Instead, it's Byrne with a chance to develop something for them. Davenport, with nobody to his right, he had a quick look. I don't know where David Rush is. I think he's probably run out of steam. Here's Houghton. Saunders. Thomas through the middle again. Michael Thomas. Rush. 2-0 Liverpool. So simple. And vintage Ian Rush. 68 minutes gone, and Liverpool go 2 goals clear in the cup final. And there's nobody that loves the Wembley scene better than Ian Rush.
Saunders again involved. Unselfish play from Thomas, and there Ian Rush, either side to choose from, tucked it away. Saunders running at the defence. Michael Thomas, another of those surging runs, could have been selfish. Saw Rush there, and at 2-0 now, although Sunderland are going to make their substitution, I can't see them getting back into this a typical Liverpool move. That's the way to finish. You don't have to burst the net, pick your spot.
While Ian Rush celebrates, David Rush has gone off, and Paul Hardiman has come on wearing number 12 for Sunderland, who find themselves 2 goals down. A little bit of cup final trivia for you too there. Ian Rush, 2 goals here in 86, 2 in 89. That's his 5th goal in an FA Cup final, and it beats Stan Mortenson's record of 4, the most since the cup final came to Wembley. But it means that with 38 goals in the FA Cup now, overall Ian Rush still wants 3 more to equal Dennis Law's all-time record. More importantly, Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 0 and seem to have taken a grip on the game. John Byrne bundled over. Bracewell. Well, what an opportunity Liverpool have here to end the season on a high note and clinch a place in Europe. It will take a fabulous reply by Sunderland, something beyond anything they've achieved in this memorable cup run, to find a way back here at Wembley, and he should be feeling a little happier. And for Malcolm Crosby, the signs are not good at this stage. Saunders. Thomas. Sunderland would have to score twice in the next 20 minutes to force extra time now that Liverpool have gone too clear. Jones. Colby. Oh, and Rush combining here, first with Houghton, now with Dean Saunders. Flags up. Saunders penalised. Saunders, of course, hit the bar, didn't he, just before that second goal, so Liverpool perhaps had earned it. Away, and Tony Norman comes out, and here's Ray Houghton trying to knock it back from 45 yards, and Norman's in trouble here, and he's well, he saw the funny side of it. Ray Houghton attempting something there rather like Pele, or should we say Chris Waddle, who tried it in the last World Cup, didn't he? Amazing.
Well, it's great thinking, Tony Norman, and there's first touch, didn't even stop it. Certainly a wedge, isn't it, to that height, and didn't get the backspin on the green he wanted, and it's bounced over the crossbar. But exciting bit of play, and it's good to see Tony Norman still able to smile after it.
Before all the Arsenal supporters right in, Anders Limpard did that the other week, didn't he? And he found the net too, I believe. Anyway, that's history again. 2-0. Could have been 3. Liverpool supporters jubilant. Sunderland subdued. Armstrong looks for Davenport. Michael Thomas involved defensively now. Bracewell. So Michael Thomas involved in both goals, Trevor, really.
That's why Graham Souness bought him. Steve McMahon did that sort of surging run from midfield for a few seasons, and then he's moved on now to Manchester City. Liverpool, the way they play, they need to have somebody running from midfield, and of course if you've got Jan Mulvey as an anchorman to find him, he's the ideal person to make the run.
Well, McManaman on the ball now, has Saunders just inside him here. Saunders shot, and Tony Norman, rocking on his heels, turns it over from Dean Saunders as Liverpool start to enjoy themselves. Saunders picked this one up, 20 yards out, and Norman was advanced and had to spread himself backwards. Nickel. Mulvey. Saunders. Nickel. Saunders, no. Thomas. Away from Byrne. McManaman out on the right wing. Tried to backheel it to Thomas and lost it. Davenport found Rogan. He found Byrne. Molby just stretching to prevent the ball. He has that way about him, Jan Molby. You think he's a little bit leisurely, but my goodness, he's influential and seems to play in a private little world in the centre circle and dictate it from there. Here's Rush. Houghton. That's another one of his passes. Effortlessly pushed out to McManaman. Now then, we're going to see a change again by Sunderland. Warren Hawke is coming on. And Gordon Armstrong, number 9, goes off. Hawke, number 14, the 21-year-old Durham lad, who can play either centre-forward or wide in the attack. Bracewell forward. I think Sunderland will have to reflect on chances missed very early in the game. Those supporters will look back on the one that John Byrne had particularly and wonder if things might have been different if they'd gone ahead then. But in the second half, from the minute that Thomas scored in the 47th minute, Liverpool exerted a stranglehold on the game that they've never released. And there's now just about a minute left as Michael Thomas, the scorer of that first goal and involved in the second, picks it up again. A candidate maybe for man of the match, but so too is this man McManaman. Brilliant. Kevin Ball. Very, very tired now, Sunderland. Time now as Gary Bennett tries to force it out, but it's a laborious process when Liverpool are in this mood. It's Molby dictating things again. Out to McManaman. Houghton. Thomas. Houghton again. Rush waiting in the centre. Molby, but just went across the line.
Yeah, some good performances, as you say, Liverpool, particularly second half, Saunders and Thomas. But my trio, I think, would be Mark right at the back, Molby in midfield, and McManaman out wide.
Yes, here's Saunders. Tries the bender.
Well, did everything right, came inside. Bennett just beyond the far post, but it's been unlucky. What hit the woodwork. Good second half, though, a lot of movement.
And Liverpool have won the FA Cup in their centenary year and qualify again for Europe. Second Division Sunderland well beaten on the day, but Michael Thomas's goal after 47 minutes, followed by one from Ian Rush after 68 minutes. The difference between the two sides in a match where Liverpool totally dominated the second half. Bob Murray there, the Sunderland chairman, leaning forward next to the Duke of Kent as the Sunderland players received their losers' medals. John Byrne, who couldn't keep his record up, he had one good chance early on, the only round in which he didn't score. But young players here who will have benefited from the experience, and one or two older heads like Peter Davenport, who may perhaps not get a winner's medal after all in their careers, but who certainly experience an FA Cup final which goes past so many other players. Tony Norman, no chance with the goals really. So Liverpool prepare now to receive the trophy. Mark Wright following in the line of so many other famous Liverpool captains, many of them centre-backs indeed. Ron Yates comes to mind, Emlyn Hughes, Alan Hansen of course in our studio. Midfield player Ronnie Whelan last time. I think Mark Wright really kept his feet there, but he did all afternoon. And in his first season with Liverpool, he finishes up the England centre-half receiving the FA Cup. Liverpool win the FA Cup for the 5th time, and in their centenary year as well. And with a very new-look team compared to those that used to go up those steps. Dean Saunders in his first season. Well, they're sending the cup all the way down the line. Michael Thomas, signed from Arsenal. Ian Rush, of course, he's got a season ticket here, really. But David Burrows' first cup final. And the young substitute not used there, Mike Marsh. Mark Walters didn't get on either. Ray Houghton. And, of course, Jan Molby, whose play in midfield was so calm and collected. David Moore's the new chairman there, thrilled to bits, as well he might be. And Liverpool march down the steps into Europe in the European Cup Winners' Cup, and of course they'll be back here for what should be a good Charity Shield match next August against the new First Division champions Leeds United. Liverpool will go on to a scene of celebration that they know so well. The final score in the 1992 FA Cup final, the new trophy handed over today for the first time, goes to Liverpool, who beat Sunderland by 2-0.
Liverpool's day, their 5th FA Cup victory, but the players received losers' medals. By mistake, the Sunderland players were given the winners' medals. The exchange came later. But Sunderland couldn't repeat their fairy tale win of 19 years ago. Liverpool fully deserving their victory today.
There he is, Donkey. Well, I'll let you off with that throw out in the second half. No. Hey, listen. Hey, lads, I'm sorry, you know. I know I'm going to get bloody slaughtered with that one that went out on the side, but you see, I couldn't kick dead balls. An officer of the law, congratulations. Hey, by the way, we're leaving at 9:45 in the morning.
There was, of course, a rather different atmosphere in the Sunderland dressing room.
It's been a great cup run, you know, we beat 3 First Division teams, West Ham, Chelsea and Norwich. There's been some great nights of soccer, like, you know, especially at Roker Park when we beat Chelsea, you know, that was fantastic. But, you know, when we were there, you get to Wembley and you think, everyone says, oh, well, we'll have a great day, enjoy the day out. But, I mean, after we've had a first half like we had, you know, we had a little feeling that we could actually sneak it, you know, so that's the disappointing thing.
I mean, felt as though you came close.
Well, yeah, with first half we did, but second half, to be fair, they taught us a lesson in football, to be fair, they were brilliant.
But if one of those early chances had gone in for Sunderland?
Well, that's right, who knows, you know, probably if one had gone in, they'd have probably beat us 4-1, we probably made them angry.
Alan, did you feel it was a good final overall today?
I thought the first half was very good, and 20 minutes the second half was excellent as well, but then Liverpool got on top and it became a bit one-sided. Sunderland tired very much in the second half. But having said that, Liverpool still got to pass it and move, and they did that excellently well.
What was the key to Liverpool's dominance in the second half, did you feel?
Well, I thought the goal early in the second half sort of killed Sunderland off. But I thought, really, again, that Sunderland tired a lot. And that Liverpool started to pass it and move. They got in excellent positions, made the chances, and, of course, Thomas, a couple of good runs and 2 goals.
Let's look at some of the main features again, because right in the first 2.5 minutes, Liverpool could have gone ahead.
Yeah, this is a good ball from Ray Houghton, and Thomas was on his way early. I thought the goalkeeper did well here. I thought maybe if it had been later in the game that Thomas would have scored, but the goalkeeper did well. This is probably the best chance of the game. And for a guy that scored in every round of the cup, you'd expect him to put that away. He'll be very disappointed with that. And this is the Jan Molby incident, where Jan's a bit too calm here, and he tries to play it to Rob Jones, who isn't really looking. Bracewell sees it early, hits a good shot, and it was a let-off there for Liverpool because Wright deflected it past the post. This is the goal. McManaman does well here, and they made a good decision to switch him. He goes past Atkinson, plays a great ball into Thomas, sits up nicely for him, but it's a great finish. A super goal in an FA Cup final. Stevie Nicol gets the ball wide here. He flights on a good cross, and Dean Saunders with a very good second half. Great header, beats Norman, all ends up, but comes back off the crossbar. This is the second goal, and Sunderland were really tired at this stage. They were retreating. Saunders can't believe the time and space he's got here to turn and run at them. Michael Thomas makes a great run, leaves one of the Sunderland defenders for dead. I thought he might have just lost control there, but falls to Rush, whose side puts it excellently into the corner.
There were some particular success stories today. I mean, you mentioned Saunders. He's had his critics this season, but he did have an excellent last 45.
He played exceptionally well, and he has had his critics, but I'll say this for him, he's never ever let his head go down. He always, when he goes on the pitch, he always works very hard, and I think it paid off for him today. He was very, very unlucky not to score.
Yeah, and McManaman too, and they switched wings, didn't they, with him?
That was a great move, switching wings. As Ronnie Moran said at the end of the game, that is probably his best position on the right-hand side, but because of the balance of the side, he started him on the left. But when he came across the right-hand side, he was causing the Sunderland defence all sorts of problems. And he turned the game for Liverpool.
And Michael Thomas has really featured in the history of Liverpool. I mean, he deprived Liverpool of the league championship a couple of seasons ago.
He's made up for it, hasn't he?
He certainly has made up for it, yes. A good sign, a great signing for them, you think?
Well, he makes these runs from the middle of the park, and he gives them a bit of strength going forward. And that's something that Liverpool were lacking a bit before they signed him. And he's proved he's worth today. I mean, he made 3, 4, 5 great runs, and he got on the end of things. He had the early chance, then he scored the goal, then he made the second goal. A good signing for Souness, I would have thought.
And Molby strolling around, you know.
Well, that pitch is made to measure for Jan Molby, isn't it? I mean, it's a pitch that you've almost guaranteed time and space, and there's nobody better in the country, for me, given time and space than Jan Molby, and he proved that today. Right from the second minute when he sprayed the ball wide to Ray Houghton, and Liverpool got their initial chance. But Sunderland will be obviously disappointed. They did have their moments in the first half. They had a couple of great chances, and also they got into some super positions, but they just couldn't make it pay.
There wasn't much they could do about it in the end, was there? There wasn't anything tactically that they could change, really.
No, I think that the FA Cup is a game where you get tired mentally a lot. I mean, the build-up to the game is unique, and I thought the Sunderland youngsters paid the price for that build-up today. I thought they tired earlier than they would have done normally.
And Bruce had a sort of relatively quiet day, didn't he?
A quiet day for Bruce, yeah. Bruce is the type of keeper that likes to be in action. I mean, the goalkeeper before him he'd been happy if he never touched it for 90 minutes, Ray Clemens, but Bruce, if he's not touched it for 10 minutes, he wants to get in action, but...
Yeah. He found a funny umbrella to play with.
Yeah,
he was all right.
He had his moments at the end of the game.
Well, let's take the Liverpool story on a little later this evening now, and Ray Stubbs reports.
The start of what will surely be a long night of celebration was already underway when the Liverpool players and their wives and girlfriends finally got away from Wembley, having collected what they came for. Early anxieties all forgotten.
The score wasn't too bad, was it, at the end of the day? We had a good time tonight. Can you back up, son?
Many people wanted to say well done. Singer Chris de Burgh offered his congratulations to the players in red.
Wave at me out of a coach window, I got to come in. What are you doing, my missus? Good man, well done. Give us a song. Yeah. Lady in red, just wanted for me here today. Let's go!
And en route to central London and a celebratory banquet, there were reflections of the day and what it all means to Liverpool Football Club. Even the most experienced players have been affected by the importance of winning.
I'm still reminiscing of what I was saying this morning because I was nervous. I've never been that nervous for an FA Cup final or any final in the past. I was nervous because it was a new experience for me. Liverpool, I've only played for Liverpool in the first division and I only wanted to play for Liverpool, and we had to get into Europe for that. As I've said before, the kids that I played here and the old school that I played, they wanted Europe so badly. You know, we were let down with one tragedy in Europe. We came back strong after 6 years and last year. And next year we're in a different competition, the Cup Winners' Cup. Yes, it's still Europe, and we're going to play against the top sides in Europe again.
The scorer of Liverpool's first goal, Michael Thomas, was hoping his performance today would help his teammates forget a day when things didn't go so well.
Do they often remind you of the goal you scored for Arsenal that cost Liverpool the championship?
Only one person, that's John Barnes. I room with him all the time, and he's just saying, you've got to repair back, you've got to repair back. And hopefully they've done part of it. And hopefully next season we're going to see more trophies.
What do you remember about the goal you scored at Wembley?
All I remember is Superman going down the wing, going past two players and put it in between some of them, and then it fell just right for me to put it on the volley. I just thought, it was a nice feeling to score.
Well,
That's what it's all about. What the lads won this afternoon.
They showed great character because it was difficult in the first half.
Well, I mean, when there's no goal scored in the first half, you're always on tender hooks because if the opposition score, then it makes it harder. But these lads are brought up not to try and lose a goal. And at half-time, well, before half-time, we talked about changing the formation. But we said we wait till half-time, we don't lose a goal, we're still in the game. And then we made the change, and it was bingo. Steve McManaman produced the goods. But again, the other 10 were there as well, and they helped us as well.
What did Graham say after the game? You must have had it.
Well, Graham all through. Graham was down at the hotel yesterday, and he was there today, and he controlled himself well on the line, and he's made up as well. He wanted to jump up and down, but he knew he couldn't, and this will do him the world of good, and he'll be back in July when we start training. He'll be back before that.
Tomorrow, the Liverpool squad return home for a tour of the city. Thousands are expected to turn out. Tonight, this year's FA Cup winners have remained in the capital to concentrate on singing, dancing and celebrating their success.
Here's the squad going into their celebrations just a short time ago. Well, how do you see the next season now for Liverpool? Obviously, they're in Europe. Do you think there'll be many changes in the team, in the squad, in the close season?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, Barnes' contract's up, Ian Rush's contract's up. Souness has got a lot of deciding to do if he's going to keep these two. There's talk of them buying the goalkeeper from Watford. Whether they buy him or not, I don't know, but certainly it was imperative they won that game today for the finances of the club. They're building a new stand, and I think it would have been a disaster for them if they hadn't got back in Europe.
And what about the future of Graham Souness himself?
Well, Graham's the type of character that will be back. I think that he loves football. Football is his life. I mean, obviously he's going to be fit again after this triple bypass. I think the doctors told him that the only things he can't do are the marathon and play squash, which he never done anyway. So, as Ronnie Moran said in the interview there, I think he'll be back before July and he'll be eager to go. But the priorities, as always, for Liverpool Football Club will be the First Division Championship next season. And from that point of view, they had a bad season this season. They finished 6th.
And there were hints about Ronnie Moran perhaps not having a future at Liverpool. What do you feel about that?
I think he'll be there. I think he's got 2 years left in his contract. And again, nobody could ever underestimate the part he's played in 25 years of Liverpool success. He's been you would associate Shankly, Fagan, Paisley, Dalglish, but he's been a main part of it as well.
Okay, Alan, thank you very much indeed. Well, now let's briefly show you the highlights of the Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Airdrie, commentators at Hampden Park, Billy McNeil and Jock Brown.
And you wonder if the confidence will be rising in the Airdrie ranks. They've coped so well so far in the match, but just a couple of recent attacks. Here's David Robertson, a stumble by Kirkwood. Robertson played it in long. Higley! Rangers take the lead. Right on the half-hour mark. A very unfortunate slip by David Kirkwood at a vital moment, allowing David Robertson to set up Higley for his goal number 23 of the season. Higley, and she just couldn't get to that. McCall sets up McCoy. That's a good effort by McCoy. And deadly finishing pays off once again for Rangers.
David Kirkwood. Breaks there for Smith. And there's a goal by Irving. The cup has been thrown back into Sunderland by a magnificent strike from Andy Smith.
It starts with a good strike here. It gets a little deflection, falls in its back. Not an easy ball to hit. What a mark for strike with this young man.
Well, it's these Rangers supporters who are able now to celebrate. But here comes Richard Goff to collect the trophy. And it's congratulations to Rangers, the 10th Scottish Cup winners for 1992. Applauded all around the stadium. The climax to a wonderful season.
Cup and league double for Rangers north of the border. And the 111th FA Cup final has gone to Liverpool, the conclusion to another great competition, which didn't produce a shock today, but produced some wonderful stories over the last few months. Good night.
Face humiliation. Oh, Wilkinson! It's there! They got the goal right at the finish. Orient from the 3rd division. Oldham from the first by 4 goals to 2. Hughes! Oh, that's over the top of the youngster Lee Jones. Is he going to be the hero? He is! He scored! Allen was there too. Good volley. Oh, yes. Williams, what a goal! Young Ryan Giggs cannot afford to miss. He saved it. It's all over. Southampton are through. Pierce with his right foot, there it is, and there's the 3rd goal. And it's Graham Stewart with a great run for Chelsea, and he scores. And now it's Froggatt, and there's the shot, and what a goal. He's a real awkward player, John Byrne, he's made it 2. Rosenthal, McManaman, and they're in front. Oh, that's a wonderful goal by Clark. There's no one hope left. Oh, there is! Oh, and he drops it, the goalkeeper, and that's an absolute gift. Thomas. Great chance again, and this time Thomas scores. And a good header, and a great header to make it 2-1, and Sunderland have struck back again. Beckford, Doss. Oh, and the header by Sutton. It's gone in. It's there. Good-looking ball. It's Anderton. A real chance for Pompey. Darren Anderton. It's there. Oh, it's gone in. It's been put in. Well, John Beresford has to score. Otherwise,
Liverpool are in the final. Oh, that's it.